I'll try this a new way. I'm gonna show you the tricks that I know. I'm getting tired of talking, and I need more of a show right now. It's time that you made your mind up, 'cause lately all it ever does is change. Feels like we're only talking, going round and around, back around. I will fight like no other every day. I won't stop like the others. I will stay, 'cause now is the right time, and I'm feeling alright. I'm playing your game like I know I can win right now. You got me up tonight, 'cause loving you is like I'm walking a tightrope so high. I won't be turning around, no, I won't be turning around. Feeling alright, I'm playing your game like I won't win tonight. I think I'll do it on my way. I'm gonna show you what I'm going through, get you out of your comfort zone, 'cause I need more of the truth right now. It's time that you made your mind up, 'cause lately all it ever does is change. Feels like we're only talking, going round and around, back around. I will fight like no other every day. I won't stop like the others. I will stay, 'cause now is the right time, and I'm feeling alright. I'm playing your game like I know I can win right now. You got me up tonight, 'cause loving you is like I'm walking a tightrope so high. I won't be turning around, no, I won't be turning around. You feeling alright? I'm playing your game like I won't win tonight. gonna stay, but I'm just gonna wait in the background, watching you talk to her. I know this might look bad, but I'm just gonna melt in the background, watching you lean into her. I'm a fool. I just wanna get close to you. Yeah, I wanna get close. I'm a fool. I know. Are you thinking about us too? 'Cause I don't know. Are you missing it just like I do? Are you worried about me too? 'Cause I'm thinking aloud, I'm wondering about you, eh? I don't even know what it feels like when your eyes are staring at me. I miss them. I'm about to lose it. All of my friends telling me to leave for the night. It's for the best. I'm a fool. I just wanna get close to you. Yeah, I wanna get close. I'm a fool. I know. Are you thinking about us too? Are you missing it just like I do? Are you worried about me too? 'Cause I'm thinking aloud, I'm wondering about you, eh? About you, baby. Want your kisses in the morning light. Wanna be next to you every night. Oh, I shouldn't love you, but I might. 'Cause your lips, they taste like cherry wine. You're no good for me. We're so bittersweet, but I still want you. I do. Baby, can't you see what you do to me? I just can't resist you. You got me drunk in love, I can't sleep. I need to sober up from this dream. But I can't deny, I can't deny you. I can't deny, I can't deny you. Na 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 na. Na 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 na.
What's up, y'all? Sean here. Welcome to Tuesday Night Studio Sessions. My name is Sean. I'll be your host. Hopefully, we'll have a good show tonight. I'm very happy. I'm very chipper. So I've been sick for the last month. So this week, I'm actually feeling pretty good. So hopefully, we'll have a good show. I put the link in on the YouTube on Sean Hyde Studios so that you can access this show if you want to. If you want to come in and hang out, you're more than welcome. It's kind of a PG show, so no bad language, no kind of negative talk. We try to be pretty positive here. It's a safe place. But yeah, we've got a pretty good audience so far. We've got Stephen Drones is in the house, Eat More Possum, Bob Casey, Gregory Lawler, and Crypto Man 5000. So already a pretty good quorum. So what do you guys want to talk about tonight? First of all, can you hear me? And can you see me? Is everything going nice in the stream? This is the pre-show where we try to get all the bugs worked out before 7. But yeah, welcome to the chat. I've got some pretty exciting videos coming up. I ordered some Vuzix Blade. I forget what they're called. They're like e-glasses. But what they do is they have a screen and they have a DJI app to where you can plug your controller into the glasses, and then you can see, kind of like how Epson has the has their glasses. I wanted to get a pair of glasses that I didn't look like I was on Star Trek wearing out in public. I wanted them to be a little bit more closer to normal, but my wife still says I look like a dork in them. So, but what's pretty cool about them is they have a autofocus 1080 camera on them, so that I can record what I'm looking at, and it also has a screen recorder, so I can record the screen that's in the glasses. And so what we're going to do is, yes, Maverio. Yeah, the Epson glasses are called Maverios. But so the idea is to fly a drone using that as my heads-up display, but also being able to see line of sight the drone while I'm flying it. I will say, as an old guy, I'm in my 40s, I can't focus close. I can't focus on things as good as I used to. So making my eyes focus to the screen and then focus out, when I take my glasses off, my eyes are a little disoriented. So there's a downside there, but I believe Vuzix is coming out with a version, like a next gen eyewear. So I wanted to kind of get an understanding of those glasses before that comes out, because I think that is, coming up. Nice. Sorry if I offended anybody in here that's older than me, but all I did was carry nine bags of mulch on Friday, and I can still feel my back from that. So I'm definitely feeling not as chipper as I used to. I'm halfway to 50. I'm 45, so I'm in my late 40s, I guess. Or is that my mid 40s? I don't know. I'm past the 45 mark by 16 days. So, yep. Stephen Drones says I'm just a kid. Crypto Man filmed oil sheens today in a swamp. What is an oil sheen? Is that when oil is kind of floating on top of the water? That's pretty neat. Oil in water is probably a bad thing. It's probably bad for the environment. But I think oil is beautiful, like when it's on the concrete and like it's on a puddle, and so it like beads up and it's got all those kind of rainbow colors. I think that's really neat. So Gregory's going to be 63 in June. Well, happy birthday in June. That's coming up. My wife's birthday's in June. So that's pretty cool. So Crypto Man said, yeah. And so I think I got that right. Cool. I'm also trying out Microsoft Ice. I've used it in the past for 360 pictures, but what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to put some drone link videos out, and one of the things that I want to do is map, but I don't want to have to pay every time I make a map. I want to find a solution to where I can stitch the images together myself, and it could be like a $100 application that does it for me or something like that. But I'm trying Ice out, but it's having a hard time auto-detecting what I did because most of the images that I took with the map, some of the images have a lot of trees in them. Some of them have, just a road, and it's a road and dirt and road and dirt. And like over and over and over again, the app Ice is having a hard time figuring out what images go where. So yeah, that's running in the background, kind of waiting to see what that looks like. But if any of you guys create maps with your drones, I would love to see what applications you guys use. The first attempt of making a map, I use Maps Made Easy. It's a cloud-based website that kind of did it for me. And it made a really cool overlay over top of Google Maps. But you get like one map for free, and then you got to pay. You got to buy credits every time after that. So it's like tokens from Chuck E. Cheese. So I'd be interested to see what kind of applications you guys use. It says it's already aligned the images and it's compositing. I kind of feel like, so the images that I create from my drone using DroneLink have GPS data in them. And I feel like Maps Made Easy already knows where the images go because of the GPS location, but I feel like the images going into Ice does not use that GPS data to know where those images fit together. And that might be the problem. But so I'm rambling, and let's see what we got going on in the chat. How do you know my wife's lovely? Just kidding. She's nice. Nice looking. So it is oil. I couldn't find the source, but it was more than a little runoff. Well, that's not good. Do you think of so you're in a swamp, so could it be like a boat, like one of those fan boats that had an oil leak, or do you think it's a lot of oil? And in that swamp, are there animals and fish? Like, are there gators and fish that could die from drinking the oil? So Bob Casey says, never did any mapping, but he'd like to try it out. Crypto Man wants to map his hometown. Yeah, the map is pretty cool. The reason I did a map, I got my hair's not working tonight. The map that I did, it was a test with my DJI Mavic Mini, which I don't have the Mini anymore. I sold it. But it was just to see what I could do with that little drone. And I used DroneLink to do a map of the construction that's behind my house. And the problem with doing that is it was very repetitive. Like when I made the map, it was just roads. Some of the roads were paved, some of the roads were dirt, and just kind of empty dirt lots is about what the map was. So there's a lot of repetition with what I took. And well, I'll be dogged. I'm going to share this with y'all. It did work. Check it out. I'm excited that that actually worked. All right. That worked. Do you guys want a mapping tutorial tonight? I can do it. Just did it. We can talk about that if you want. So Gregory Lawler brings up a good point. If you're going to do this, if you're going to map for money, then paying $10 for a mapping software, like buying credits and spending $10 and then selling that map for $200 is a great return on investment. On the YouTube channel that I'm making for you, I'm trying to just find the cheapest way to make it happen. Like, let's say you are a real estate agent and you didn't want to pay every time that you created a map. Let's say you wanted to do a map every Friday just to show the, like, overlay the progress of the construction site. Like, there's houses there now. I made this map or took these images months ago. But I'm very excited because I don't think it messed up anywhere. I'm getting close-ups. Now hopefully this is a preview and not the actual. Let's go ahead and, so I've got perspective. What if I did stereographic? Let's do fisheye. None of these are working out very well. All right, so we're just going to go to perspective. We're going to hit next. There's the auto crop. Now we're going to try autocomplete. Are you guys ready for this? We're going to do this live and see what happens. All right, so it didn't do a very good job over here or up here. But that's still pretty cool. All right, so let's go back to Stitch. And then we're going to take that off. That is pretty cool that it adds that. Like, especially over here where the trees, like, autocomplete did a great job. And if I left the autocomplete and I cropped out from here and I cropped out here, so the autocomplete did a great job right here on these trees. So Bob Casey says, I've been wanting to map my property and a small community around me. Lord knows I fly it enough. All right, Gregory says, yes, please. It is a software called DroneLink. All right, let's do this. All right. So we're going to do DroneLink. All right. Bob Casey, I put DroneLink link in the chat. I'm going to go ahead and log in, but first, here's the pricing. I've got mine as hobbyists. So the hobbyist plans, I have the $49.99 plan, and that includes mapping. Oh, it looks like mapping is here in the $100. I thought it was in the $49. But anyway, that's what I use. Cool. What's happening? I wonder why it's there. That's weird. So what we are going to do is, this is my plan for the construction map. Bob Casey, just so you know, DroneLink works with DJI drones that are on the mobile SDK. Okay, so a rule of thumb is, if it works on Litchi, if it works on any third-party flight type apps, it's going to work on DroneLink. So the Mavic Air 2 is on it. Mavic Air 2 is the latest drone that works with DroneLink from DJI. Both Inspires work on it. Mavic Pro, Mavic 2 Pro, Mavic 2 Zoom. The Spark works on it. Mavic Air, Mavic Air 2. I can't wait till my 2S is on it, because I believe this is the only reason I'm holding on to my Air 2. So, but I will say I flew 3.5 miles with my Mavic Air 2, just around the backyard, going over the woods, going around. I only flew maybe 1,500 feet away, but I just kind of went back and forth, and it's just a beautiful flight to be able to just set all of your coordinates, run a mission, and then, just kind of sit back and enjoy the ride. It's kind of fun. Okay, so Bob, if you have all three Air models, the Air and the Air 2 will work perfectly with this. Okay. And it uses the DJI mobile SDK. So even on the Air 2, even the AirSense works. So it'll tell you if there's a plane around you or a helicopter or something like that. The only stipulation is that you have to have connection with your drone all the time. Okay. It's not one of those mission, like my Paradanafi, even if it does lose connection, it'll still complete the mission if you choose to, if you choose for it to do that. And DroneLink has said that they're planning on adding, where you can upload the mission to the drone. But currently, or at least currently for me, it does not work yet. Yeah. Gregory said another couple of months, the Air 2S will work with DroneLink. Gregory, do you remember when the Air 2 started working? I believe it's like, I think DJI waits like 8 months before they add something to their mobile SDK. But I remember the Mini was added, and then the Air 2 was in beta for a little while. And so I beta tested the Air 2, but now it's like legit as of maybe a month ago. I don't remember exactly when that happened, but it was pretty recent when the Air 2 became legit. So let me take all my branding off, and take this comment off. And you guys don't really need to see my face right now. So I'm going to go ahead and make this full screen. And I'm just going to run through this simple mapping mission. Okay. So there's a couple things I'm clicking on the wrong screen. So there's a couple things that you want to do. I always put this in here. The first thing I do is you kind of go through your drone, before you fly check, your checklist that you go through before you fly. You want to make sure that your return to home is at a proper altitude so you don't hit any trees on the way back. You want to make sure, like, everything else is kind of physical. Like, you want to make sure that the compass is calibrated and all the blades are on tight, the battery is secure, all that kind of stuff. So when it comes to the mission of DroneLink, you want to make sure that the return to home is high enough. And what I like to do is I like to make it higher than any other point in the mission. That way I know that I'm on top of everything. Okay. So the first thing I have here is a command, and it's required. It's a drone command. Drone return to home altitude is 200, and I set that. Okay. Then the second coordinate that I put in, or the second command that I put in here, is for the drone connection failsafe. So when the drone disconnects, I want it to return home. There are several options in here. There is hover. There is auto land. Now, if it hovers and then the battery runs low, I have a feeling that it will probably return to home anyway. If it automatically lands, it will not return to home. Okay? And the reason I would never ever choose for it to automatically land is because I fly over trees and houses and buildings, and like, I would never want it to automatically land. Okay? Because there's a good chance it's going to land on top of a building or something, or come down on a tree. And even like unlevel ground might be dangerous. You might mow the grass or something. So I want the drone to come back to me. And there was a guy that asked a question on my channel this week of, can I make a mapping mission with multiple batteries? And my response was yes. And the reason my response was yes is if it disconnects or the battery is low, it will return home. Whenever it does that, it pauses the mission where it's at. And then if it's a low battery and your drone comes back to you and you swap out the battery, then you fly your drone up, 100, 200 feet up in the air, and then hit the play button on the mission, and your drone will go all the way over to it. And depending on what it was doing, if it was recording, it'll start recording from that same spot, or if it's taking pictures, in this case, it'll just start going this little lawnmower path, this serpentine path, and start taking pictures again. Okay. So return to home is very important for me, and I always make it required. And then here's the map. I've got the map set to 200 feet up in the air. And the reference point is my takeoff location, because I'm not sure. I don't know that I trust ground level yet. Maybe that works. Maybe it knows how high it is based on the ground. But I don't know where it's getting that data from. So if it is, in this case, the ground level is different than was probably on record, because this used to be a forest, and then they cut the forest down. They've done a lot of terraforming to make, like, every place everywhere in Nashville has hills and valleys. So they did a lot of terraforming, cutting the tops of the hills off and filling in the valleys and creating this flat area for a neighborhood. So they've done. It took them a year and a half just to get this ready to start building on. So that's that. And when you drag a map component on, it looks like this. I'm going to go ahead and show you what this map looks like, and then I'm going to make a completely new one. So this is the takeoff. I've got the speed at 10 miles per hour. The approach, this is basically where you start your mission from, is the approach. So I'm going to, wherever my drone is, it's going to get to 200 feet up in the air when it gets to that map pin, over the takeoff location. And then I've got 11 boundary points. And that's basically these points. Okay. And that's the end of it. Okay. Now what this is going to do is it's going to fly this blue path right here. And what it's going to do is it's basically going to take a hyperlapse. It's going to take a picture ever so often, overlapping. So you're going to end up with, I think I ended up with like over 300 images on this small map. And so this picture overlaps this picture and this picture and this picture. So you get a lot of overlap within these images, and then you can use something like ICE to stitch it. All right. So let's see. Bob Casey says, I have a good spot to do a time lapse on the houses being built by your place. Progress of construction. Yep. I think that was Mobile SDK response. Bob Casey does a pre-flight check before every flight. Yep, I've had one crash, and that was when I did exactly what Parrot customer service told me to do on the phone. And I even questioned him on it. I was like, are you sure you don't want me to calibrate the compass before I fly? And he was like, no, it'll be fine. And so I took off, and it beelined right into a parking garage. So pre-checks are very important, especially with your drones vibrating all the time. It's very important to make sure your blades are on tight, and your batteries are snapped in. If you've got puffy batteries, don't fly, because they might not fit in the battery chamber. Anyway. Bob Casey says, pending on the battery, it can force land. So Bob Casey says, can you change altitudes with each waypoint setting? You can. I have never tried it on a map, so let's see what we got. Actually, let's go back out and I always forget how to go back. Okay, we're going to close it. So here's construction map. I'm going to not delete it. I want to copy it. All right, so let's go back here and see. All right, so we've got two construction maps. I want to edit this to construction map live stream so I can get just so I don't get messed up. All right, so let's try to all right, so I'm going to leave these two and I'm going to kill the map just for now. All right, so whenever you start a mission, it's going to have this on here. This is basically just the information about the flight. I'm going to add a new component. I'm going to type in map. And I'm going to start the map right there. Now, something you can do is I'm going to move. Actually, let's move the whole thing. The map that the place that I want to map is over here. And I want to put the approach. I want to start it here. Nope. I want to do. It's freaking out. All right, so I want to put it right there. Okay. Now, if I put it right there, nope. It's never been this finicky before, y'all. So what these boundary points do is it gives you kind of where you want the map to be. Okay, this is freaking out. I'm going to kill that and add that again. Let's try that again. What's up, Nacho? What's up, Above and Beyond Drones? All right, so I want to start the map here. And I don't understand why it keeps doing that. We're going to move. All right, that's better. I'm okay with that. All right. So I'm going to move this point there. I'm going to move this point here. I'm going to add a point here and move it down here. So you can make it whatever shape you want it to be. I'm going to move this point over here. Something else you can use, you can change your map. We can do satellite. Mapbox satellite, and then here's satellite. So neither one of them have the construction site. I've flown it kind of over and over again, so this is kind of how I would do it. I don't want to fly over these houses, so I'm going to move that there. A point's going to be about here. All right, so here's the path. There's kind of a weird thing going on here, so I'm not too happy with that. That's better. I like that better. All right, so there's your quick map. On the approach, I've got it set at 200 points, or 200 feet in the air, and it's give or take 15 feet. So that's a quick map on DroneLink. And then let's go through the mission preview real quick. So all of these red dots is where it's going to take a picture. All right, so you can see that it's going to overlap all these spots. And it's not going to take a picture outside of the perimeter. So here's, you can see the path up here in the air. So it's going to lift up. And on this map, it actually has a pretty good view of, you know, the construction. So this was probably, there's even smoke there. So this was probably a year ago when they were burning up all the trees. All right, so we're still on the approach. So we're going to the first spot where it's going to take a picture. As you can see, we're 200 feet up in the air. So it paused there. It's going to point down at the ground. So it's pointing straight down, negative 90 degrees on the gimbal. You can see it right here. And it's going to take pictures. And so this is the end of the construction right here. Sadly, all of those most of those trees have fallen. But that's okay. Excuse me, guys. So I can't move that. But what it's doing is it's coming around, and then it's just going to start taking pictures over and over and over again. All right. So I'm going to do this at 4 times just so we can get through it. Oh. So snap, 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 snap. Then it's going to come around here. It's going to start going the next direction. Snap, 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 snap. That smoke would be really cool if that actually showed up on the map. But you guys get the idea of, you know, how the map is actually going to work. Okay. Something you can do here. I keep pushing the wrong screen. If you pause it and you move through here, let's say to here, and you realize that, let's get all the way to the corner. So it looks like we did a good job of actually getting the entire, wait, no. Okay, so there's the top corner. All right, we got all of it. So anyway, that's how, basically how you would do mapping. All right. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you. I actually did this with this mission, not this mission, but the mission I showed you right before this, with my Mavic Mini. So I'm going to pull my file structure onto the screen. And what I did was I took these images and here's an example of what an image looks like. All right. So this was done with the Mavic Mini. Out of all the drones that that DroneLink can control, the Mavic Mini is the worst camera of them all. Okay, every other drone that you can use on DroneLink has a 4K camera. This only has a 2.7K camera. But I want you guys to see that the detail is actually pretty good. Look at these shingles. It's not amazing, but still very, very cool. And like I said, all these trees are gone. That one fell over, and since the taking of this picture, this tree has fallen. So I live in a very windy area. Look how good that backyard is. It's nice and green right there. Look at that neighbor's yard. Oh, look at that yard. Neighbor's yard. Oh, my yard. Yay. All right. So that's an example of what an image looks like. And as you can see in all these, they're just a shot here and a shot here and a shot here. All right. So we're going to minimize that. And we're going to try to do this. All right. So we're going to go back to import. We're even going to go, I'm going to discard this. All right. So this is Microsoft Ice. And let me see if I can find a link for y'all. It's a free application. You do have to be on a PC for it to work. But this is the link to that software. Let me look at these comments. All right. So, Bob Casey, I don't think I answered your question about changing. I don't know that you can change the altitude on a map in the middle of the map. Okay. I don't think you can do that. You can, on a waypoint mission, do whatever you want to. You can change the point of interest. You can change the altitude. You can change the gimbal angle. You can change the direction the drone is pointing. You can fly FPV or like FPV gimbal or regular gimbal, all of that. All right, looks like I got all the chats. So what we're going to do here, so the link to Microsoft Ice is here, and it's really a very simple application. You can do a new panorama from a video, so you can take a video and it'll take screenshots from that video and make a panorama, which is pretty neat. Or you can open up an existing panorama that you've made. We're going to do a new panorama from images. And I guess I didn't need to do that. I thought I was going to have to drag. So I'm going to do all of these images. We're going to open them. Oh, I guess I could drag in there. All right, and we're going to do auto detect. And this is actually pretty amazing. So we're going to, now, if you want to get really technical, you can go into structured. If you knew exactly how many images, how many columns and everything, this is, we're going to do this again. Sorry, guys. This application's not working very well. All right, let's do this again. All right, new. All right, so we got our images. We're going to go to the stitch. We're going to do simple panorama auto detect. We're going to hit next. And this might take a while, so I'm going to come back on the screen and talk to you all while that's happening. So what do you think of the tutorial so far? And mapping doesn't look that hard in like getting the drone to function is not that hard at all. There's a companion app that's on your phone. And since it's running the mobile SDK by DJI, it works just like DJI's app. It's not exactly the same because they've added some UI elements to it. But as far as the metadata, your telemetry, all that kind of stuff, it works very similar. You're going to be able to see, your distance, your altitude, battery life. You're going to be able to see all that stuff, and even the notifications that pop up. So if you're in controlled airspace or something like that, all of that information pops up. This is running pretty fast. So right now it's aligning images. It's figuring out where those images are in association with the image that it just took. I appreciate that, Bob. If I have just helped one person, it's all worth it. So so I'm getting your live chats here. I'm not getting them here. All right, so we're at 38%. Gregory retracted his comment. He's going to make it a little bit more smarter and then comment again. The day we die. All right, while that's happening, I am going to switch over to a video that was sent in by Stephen Drones. He was here. I don't know if he hasn't said much, so I don't know if he's still here, but we're going to watch this little video. And he said it's epidemic sounds. If it's not, I'm going to get a copyright strike. Notice he's flying in bright sunlight, so you can see the shadows of his propellers every once in a while. But this is Big Butt Bridge. Butts Bridge, I think he called it. He's getting real close to that bridge. It scares me. But it's pretty cool. So one of the rules whenever you're flying near bridges is you're not supposed to fly over moving vehicles. So if you ever fly over the road, you want to make sure that no cars are coming at the time. Everything's fine right here because he's flying beside the bridge. But if you ever decide to go over the bridge, make sure that there's no cars coming. That can be disastrous, especially if the bridge isn't covered like this. You might go in the river. But yeah, this is really pretty. I love the reflections all over, like the reflection of the clouds. Something else I saw on a lot of drone fail videos is people casting their fishing line and grabbing the drone. So make sure you're high enough so the fisherman doesn't catch it. But this is looking good, Steve. Oh, that's a pretty shot. Love that. Oh, flew over a car. Oh, that's a beautiful shot. Good job, Steve. All right. So we're at 39%, so I'm doing something. Maybe playing that video taxed out my computer. Yeah, I would say my favorite, let's just watch this again. My favorite part is right there. I think that's beautiful. You should take that into Lightroom or Photoshop or something like that, and I think of like whenever you've got a lot of water or sky, you can add blue, like make your color temperature more on the blue side, and it'll make these greens really pop. And the blue right here, the blue sky, it'll make it pop. And even since this bridge is blue, it'll make that look really, really good. And then if you darken up these shadows and lighten up this part, you'll get a nice, actually I'm all gassy now. You'll get a nice contrast. But I might be getting too technical for you. You might just like to fly it, and that's okay too. Let's watch it again. Nice transition. Steven Drones, what are you using to edit the video? I love that too, like the parallax. The background moves slowly. I'm gonna go find me some bridges this week. This is cool. We got a lot of train bridges in Nashville that aren't even functional anymore. So they're like these big rusty steel bridges like this. Everything's blue in Kentucky. We got bluegrass. We got blue wildcats. So Steven Drones is editing this with Fillmore Editing. So Bob Casey asked if you're flying a Mavic Air 2. Steven Drones is flying a Uni Typhoon 8 Plus. Has a beautiful 1-inch camera. There's the shot right there. Oh, it's so good. All right, I think ice gave up. So I wish I would have saved that image. I can show you guys what it looks like. Let me find that. Nacho, are you still here? Are you still tinkering around with your telescope? Actually, I'll just show you what Maps Made Easy looks like. All right, so this is Maps Made Easy. And very simply, like I got 208 promotional like points, and then you can buy points. On September 4th, which is when I made this map, looks like I had 500 points. Actually, I'm not sure what all this is about. But if you go to new map, what you can do is there's a DJI specific workflow, uses images geotags and produces a full complement of image 3D outputs. There's classic workflow. I feel like I use the classic workflow, but I'm not sure. But if you use DJI workflow, you basically drag your images in here. So let's do that. Let's go back here. You drag your images here. So 273 images. So the faster you want it, the more points it costs. So anyway, that's how you make a map using that. And this is the actual map that I made from those images, uploading it to Maps Made Easy. And I'll put that link in there too. So Emor Possum said he chose the slowest, cheapest. I think it was a day or two before he had his map. Wasn't in a hurry. And to give you kind of an example of what this is, you can send out a shareable URL, which is pretty cool. You can make it public. You can embed it on your website. Now this has, I'm not sure why it's disabled. Maybe it's because of the privacy settings that I put on it. But let's view this full screen. And as you can see, this is like Google Maps. Okay. Right down here it says Google. And basically what this does, it overlaps it on top of the Google map. So I want you guys to see this. This is the little gully next to my house that catches all the water from the neighborhood. So look how good it did. That's the gravel. Look at that ditch. Like it followed it almost perfectly, right? It didn't do an amazing job on the houses, but it's close enough. That road is off a little bit. But all in all, it did a great job. And it works like Google Maps. So the closer you get, the higher the resolution of the image that it shows. But look at this detail. Look at the dirt. Look at that bulldozer right there. There's rocks. And this is with a crappy, well, it's not crappy, but 2.7K sensor on a tiny little, almost toy drone. Okay. It's a capable drone. It's a very capable drone, but a big gust of wind could come and just blow that drone out of the sky. So if you've got something better like the Air 2, soon to be the Air 2S, I can't wait. Mavic 2 Pro, this map would look amazing. I mean, look, you can pick out little pipes. These are like sewer pipes. You can pick those out in the detail. I'm trying to find something else that's really small. Like this is a manhole right here, I think. That's not where a manhole should go, though, is it? Okay, there's a manhole right there. So I think that's super, super cool. All right, so let's see where ice is. Ice is 42%. That's not going to complete by the end of this live stream. But as you guys saw earlier in the live stream, that worked out great. So yeah, that's about all I want to talk about on mapping. And I think we're going to wind down at 7:45. We've been at this for an hour and 15 minutes. So, yeah. Couple things. If you want to send me a video that you'd like to see on the show, this is my email address, sean.ide.studios@gmail.com. Just send me a YouTube link and I will put your video on the channel. Steven Drones is Old Faithful, he's given me all kinds of videos. And also it doesn't necessarily have to be a video. It can be a picture. I don't just talk about drones all the time. So it could be a 360 degree video. It could be a GoPro video. I talk about action cameras. Could be a time lapse or hyperlapse or just anything creative that you guys want to display on my channel. Just send me a link, and it would be pretty cool to see it on the show. So, Bob, I didn't realize you were in Kentucky. I went to college in Kentucky. I don't know if y'all knew that. I went to Berea College in Berea, Kentucky. And I got a degree in industrial arts of technology management. I went there as a music major and ended up learning all about engineering. So, Emor Possum says the last two of his videos that Steve suggested I send to Ken Heron ended up on his viewer video of the week. Was that the one where you were flying under cows? I think that was the best video you ever made. You got some cool videos, but man, FPVing under a cow is pretty sweet. So there's that. And also, if you want to check out my website, if you want to get in contact with me, you can get in contact with me there. But you might as well just contact me through sean.ide.studios@gmail.com. That's hard to say. But yeah. So I think all in all, that was a pretty good show. What do y'all think? I'm going to go ahead and sign off. But hope you guys have a wonderful week. Stay tuned for more things on my channel. If you guys want to see what I look like in the Vuzix Blade glasses, my wife says I look like a dork in them. But I don't think I look as much of a dork in them as wearing some DJI goggles or something like that. So check it out. What do y'all think? Do y'all think I look stupid? I do kind of look stupid. But I don't know if you guys can see this, but there's a little screen over here, and then there's a eyeglasses here. So I'm going to try to move my eye so you guys can see it. There's a little square. That's hard to see. Little square right there. Every once in a while you can see. Well, I just look stupid trying to get that to work. But there's a little projector right here that projects on the lens right here. But I can still see everything that you guys are saying to me. So I'll give you an example. So Eat More Possum says, "Ah, yeah, I see the square." So I can read everything that's happening. I can see my drone up in the air, but I can also tell that I'm facing northwest and that I've got 9% battery on my drone. And I can swipe through the apps. And now it's got a dolphin app. There we go. Can you guys see that right there? So that is a web browser on my face. But I can see through that web browser. And if I close this eye, I can see completely clear. But focusing and reading something on here and then looking at you guys is not that big of a deal if I look at you guys all the time and then I just glance at what's happening. But if I stare at the screen all the time and then look out, all of a sudden my vision is blurry. So anyway, we're going to try this out and see what it's like. The camera over here is actually really good. The only problem is it's not stabilized, so it kind of bounces around with my head. But stay tuned for that on the channel. We're gonna try to fly a drone with these on, and then we might do a couple more videos, and then I might try out some other goggles or glasses just so you guys can see them. But they've got like clip-on sunglasses. They don't work very good in the bright sunlight, but I think if you had the sunglass part, you'd be able to see it a lot better. But let me turn these off. But yeah, that's it, y'all. That's coming up on the channel. It is super hot out right now. It's like 100 degrees out in Nashville. But I want to get some videos out before the cicadas come out. So Bob Casey says they have changed the style of them. What is the price of those? So nobody knows yet. Vuzix has come out with the next generation, but they are not available yet. The other pair of glasses that I want to try out, they're by Mad Gaze, and they're about $600, but they have screens on both sides. What I don't like about them is you have to plug them up to your phone. But what I do like about them is they have an HDMI. You can run anything off of HDMI. So I can plug it into my smart controller. I can plug it into my Inspire controller. I can plug it into my Crystal Sky. I can plug it into my Unique Typhoon controller. So that might be a better option. So there is that. So yeah, hope you guys have a wonderful night. Let me take that off. Hope you guys have a wonderful night, and catch you guys on the next video. Please like, subscribe to my channel, click on the bell for notifications. I want to put out more videos, more live streams, drone link tutorials, action camera videos, all the good stuff, y'all. Catch you on the next video. Peace out.